If there's one thing I've learned, it's that we never feel the heat until we get burned. But we try so hard not to die, sometimes we forget to appreciate life. Hey guys. So I've been going through a really hard time recently, and usually writings and songs like the Spoke Canvas's Appreciation, the poem I just quoted, help me to feel better, but lately I feel like I want to talk to someone to get rid of everything I've been bottling up inside. And since I'm not the best with words or one-on-one conversations, I figured I'd wake up to the fact that it's 2008, make a video blog and talk to you, whoever's watching this. Well, let's see. I'm guessing more than likely we're strangers, so I suppose I should feel comfortable kind of saying whatever, crossing my fingers we don't ever meet someday, since I imagine that being awkward. You knowing my life story and then some, and me still having to put the puzzle pieces of who you are together. But as far as introductions between strangers go, who I am really isn't as important as what I have to say. But my name's Shana. So when I first started making this, I knew who I'd be talking to, the group of people, strangers. I don't know you guys, obviously. Check. I knew what I wanted to talk about, things going on in my life, check. But as far as exactly what I wanted to say went, not so much. I thought to myself, you can't just rip your heart open and spill your guts. It's the internet. It's a lot of people that can watch, and that means a lot of judgments. Don't get me wrong. I know that we all judge and get judged every second of every day, but the truth is that we all show different parts of ourselves to different people. And even though they have their interpretation and make whatever judgment they make, in the end, they work with what you give them, what you let them see. But because we do decide that, pick and choose what we reveal and to whom, the labels we're each given couldn't be more far off, because the people who made them only had a snippet, not the whole song. When people say, you don't know me, so don't judge me, what they really mean is, you don't know all of me, so don't judge me. I think for most people, the inaccuracy of the labels makes it easy to dismiss them. But if I'm completely honest here, if I give you the full picture, let you hear the whole song, your label will be right. It was based on the truth, so it has to at least come close to it. But what's more scary than what you'll think of me when you see everything is what I'll think of me. I mean, I have this theory that when a person's terrified of going to see a psychiatrist, sure, the thought of revealing everything to a complete stranger is weird, but what's more scary is them having to look at all of their cards. Their heart on their sleeve, never more magnified than when they have to face it head on. Maybe I just rather not know what I think of myself. They say ignorance is bliss, right? Besides that, I couldn't shake the feeling that being so raw and honest would be wrong. But then I remembered a place where it's okay to be brutally honest. Art. And by art, I mean all forms of it. And that made me think. First of all, I know that we've all been there. We've all had those moments where we're overwhelmed by some emotion, bawling on the floor, crying out for help, even though sometimes I think it'd be more accurate to say we're calling out for hope. Or maybe they're the same thing. When we're crying out to the world for some reason, whether it's the fact that our yelling drowns it out or that we don't take the time to realize it, we're oblivious to sound echoing around us. Other people's yells that offer the comfort that we're not alone. So that's where art comes in, right? It's concrete forms of people's suffering, people's cries, and a constant reminder of the fact that we're all fighting our own wars. That's why it touches people. I think the more honest someone's art is, the more it's in touch with who they are, the more likely it is to touch other people. I mean, really quick, can you remember a song that was fun to dance to, but whose meaning was so broad, being cool to jam to was all it was? Okay, now, try to remember a song that really touched you. Chances are it wasn't because the artist was general, but painfully honest. That kind of art, as hard as it may be to make, is the most beautiful. But as much as I love it, part of me has to wonder when society decided that we had to use those means to express our feelings. When did being brutally honest become a bad thing? Joseph Newton said, "People are lonely because they build walls instead of bridges." I think our apprehensiveness to be honest with each other is what our walls are made of. We don't know how to be honest with one another, and because of that, we don't know how to connect with one another. And all because of what? An old taboo? Fear of judgment? I say, screw it. The principle that the more honest someone's art is, the more likely it is to touch other people, that same principle goes for life. The more honest you are with yourself, the more honest you are with others, the less you have holding you back. The sooner you can see how beautiful life can be. The sooner you can move forward, or at least inch up slowly, and see how beautiful life can be. So I guess what I'm trying to say is that we shouldn't be ashamed of our past, because they're not a sign of our weakness. In fact, they're the opposite, a sign of our strength and how far we've come. So we shouldn't let those reminders that we're not alone only come in the form of music notes, visuals, and black and white words. We should all be each other's reminders by letting our walls down, facing the truth, and telling our stories. Each person a reminder that is as pure and honest as possible. We are all people, We all go down the same road, so chances are we've been at the place you're at. And if we haven't, we will someday. And learning compassion is a must. Tennessee Williams put it pretty perfectly. When so many are lonely, as seem to be lonely, it would be inexcusably selfish to be lonely alone. I know that I'm not alone, so I'm willing to tell you my stories and let you take whatever you want from them. What I've learned so far is that you should always be honest. Try to be, even if the truth you're portraying is gray.